Ahoy there, nautical truth seekers. My name is Captain Aries Ezra, and you've just boarded the illustrious ship Nautical Awakenings, where we sail steadfast into ancient waters, decode forgotten tongues, and awaken truths buried beneath the waves of time. Today's voyage revolves around a single, very powerful word: God. A word that has shaped civilizations. A word that has ignited wars and delivered peace. But what if the word God is not just a title? A word that has been whispered by both kings and paupers in every corner of the earth. Not just a name? What if it's a cipher? A key? A symbol designed to open something far greater than we've ever realized. Something inside your own soul. Set your compasses. We're about to get nautical. Let's begin with the linguistic roots. In English, God stems from the Old English, God, which originates from the Proto-Germanic guten, and that in turn derives from the Proto-Indo-European word meaning, that which is invoked or worshipped. This linguistic evolution suggests that God, at its etymological core, represents not simply a being, but a presence that is called upon, invoked by those in need, in awe, or in reverence. It implies interaction, not ownership, reverence, not dominion. The first letter, G, is not just an initial. In Masonic and Esoteric teachings, G holds immense symbolic weight. Freemasons place the letter G at the center of their compass and square symbol, where it stands for the Great Architect of the universe. G can also denote geometry, the divine science of patterns and proportions that governs the cosmos. The Fibonacci sequence, the golden ratio, and sacred geometry are all blueprints of this divine architecture. And then there is Gnosis, divine knowledge, inner knowing, wisdom that arises from the soul, not from the brain. G is the genesis, the point of creation, the source code of all things. Some occult traditions suggest that the letter G stands for the generative principle, the creative spark that gives rise to the divine masculine and feminine in the cosmos. It's no accident that the Freemasons hold it in such high regard. In the center of the square and compass, the union of opposites, the G stands like a cosmic seed, vibrating with ancient energy. The second letter, O, is a perfect circle. It is the symbol of eternity, of the unbroken cycle of birth, death, and rebirth. In esotericism, the circle represents wholeness, infinity, and completion. It can also be interpreted as the Ouroboros, the ancient symbol of the serpent devouring its own tail, a cosmic emblem of self-reflection, reincarnation, and the unity of beginning and end. O is the void and the all. It is the cosmic womb from which all life is born, the eternal now in which all things reside. Some teachings connect the letter O to the primordial sound, Om or Om, the vibrational frequency of the universe itself. The circle becomes a mouth, an echo, a ringing bell across time. When we say God, the O is a harmonic bridge between the earthly and the divine, resonating with the breath of the universe. Interestingly, in the tarot, the zero card is the Fool. The Fool represents infinite potential, divine trust, the beginning of all journeys. The final letter, D, conceals great meaning. In symbolic language, D can be seen as a door, a passage from one state to another. It also resembles the Greek letter delta, which has always symbolized change and transformation. From darkness to light, ignorance to enlightenment, death to rebirth. D is the threshold. It is the veil that must be pierced for one to awaken. Consider this. When we dream, we often encounter doors. Doorways between worlds. Portals in our own psyche. Could the D in God be the final notch? A metaphysical invitation to pass through the illusion of separation and into the divine reality. When you look at the word God as a symbolic code, it becomes something far greater than a mere label. God, generator, omega, door. The source, the infinite, the portal. Or more poetically, the architect of the infinite who opens the door to transformation. This idea isn't unique to English. Long before the word God ever existed, ancient cultures had their own names for the divine. In the Hebrew tradition, the word El referred to God, a powerful title used in many biblical names like Michael, who is like God, Gabriel, God is my strength, and Israel, one who struggles with God. El comes from even older Semitic roots, where it was used to describe deities across the Canaanite and Phoenician pantheons. These ancient Els were often sky gods, creators and rulers of divine realms. Here we encounter the word Elohim. Elohim is plural. The suffix im in Hebrew indicates multiplicity, yet it is often translated as a singular noun. Why would the Bible say Elohim created the heavens and the earth when it literally means God's created? Could this suggest a divine council, a pantheon, or even an advanced race of creators? This brings us to the Anunnaki of Sumerian mythology. The word Anunnaki means those who from the heavens came to earth. According to the ancient Sumerians, whose records predate the Hebrew Bible by thousands of years, the Anunnaki were powerful beings who descended from the stars, engineered human civilization, and imparted laws, agriculture, and knowledge to mankind. They were seen not as abstract concepts, but as very real, very present figures. The Anunnaki's presence ties deeply into the idea of Elohim. Some scholars and alternative historians believe the Anunnaki and the Elohim are one and the same, interpreted through different cultural lenses. The similarities are striking: sky beings, multiple entities, creation of humanity, and divine wisdom. In the book of Genesis, the phrase, "Let us make man in our image," becomes deeply intriguing when viewed through this lens. Was this simply divine counsel, or perhaps a race of extraterrestrial beings orchestrating humanity's existence? These divine beings, the Elohim and Anunnaki, even the Watchers of the Book of Enoch, who descended to Earth, imparted knowledge, and mingled with humans, suggest a greater cosmic plan at work. The Book of Enoch describes these Watchers as beings who taught humanity secrets like metallurgy, astrology, and enchantment. Their intermingling with humans produced the Nephilim, hybrid beings of both divine and human nature, raising questions about the true nature of these celestial visitors. Were they benevolent teachers, as some believe, or were they manipulative overlords, as others suggest? The legacy of their influence is still debated today. There are striking connections between the ancient Anunnaki and the Elohim. Both represent divine beings who played a critical role in the creation of humankind. If we go even deeper into the linguistic and mythological threads, we can trace these connections across cultures and time, bringing us to the realization that the names we use for God, for divinity, may only be different perspectives on the same cosmic force, whether called El, Elohim, Anunnaki, or even Yahweh. In Islamic mysticism, God is referred to as Allah, derived from Al-Ilah, or the God. Yet in older, pre-Islamic usage, variations like Allahum evoke echoes of Elohim. Then there's the Sufi tradition, where the divine is often called Hu, a breath, a vibration, a frequency of pure being. It is not a name but an essence, a resonance that pervades all existence. And let us not forget the Gnostics. To them, the divine spark lives within each of us, buried beneath the layers of illusion and material entrapment. Their God wasn't a remote figure in the sky, but a living presence within, obscured by the false reality created by the demiurge, a lesser god who constructs the illusion of separation. In this light, to awaken is to reclaim your own divinity. Back to linguistics. Researchers suggest that the word God has connections to the ancient Indo-European name Dyeus, meaning shining sky father. This links God to Zeus, Jupiter, and Dyaspida from the Vedas. All names for a divine masculine sky being with authority over fate, lightning, or law. If true, the word God might echo all the way back to a primordial archetype of celestial authority recognized by proto-cultures across Eurasia. Consider also the mystical name of God in Hebrew, the Tetragrammaton U, or Yod-Heh-Vav-Heh. This unpronounceable name of God is considered too sacred to speak aloud. In its letters lies deep esoteric meaning. Yod represents the divine spark, the primal essence, the beginning of all creation, the point of origin. Heh is the breath, the spirit, the revelation, the vital force that animates life itself. Vav symbolizes a nail or a connector, joining heaven and earth, bridging the divine and the mundane. Then Heh again, reinforcing the divine breath and revelation. This brings us to the end of our journey. Thank you to Dubby and all my subscribers for keeping this channel afloat. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and click the ship's bell. Drop anchor in the comments. Peace and love to all.